Okay, we're going to set the gun for painting these rims. I'm using this small little copycat Iwata, and it's a nice little gun for doing small stuff and rims and small pieces. Well, probably up to maybe a door or a fender or something like that. Has the air adjustment in here so I can increase the amount of air, turn it down. Fluid adjustment and pattern adjustment. So I'm going to start, see what I got for a pattern. I got a pretty small one. I'm starting to set this up for doing these rims. Open up the fluid a little bit. Get a little more air. Use a pretty small pattern like that so that I concentrate the paint because I'm painting the rim. I got the fluid set down. It's fairly wet, but this is a thicker product than the other wash primer, which is like spraying water. This is like spraying enamel primer, so you got a little more workability and a little film build. And then we're going to just make little passes like that. Maybe 2 shots to get a wet coat and keep working our way down because we're painting rims. We got to kind of do it in a semicircle and do half a rim at a time or half of the arc of the rim. Okay, now I'm going to paint the inside radiuses here. And then I've set these rims up so that you can see on the video how we're going to spray them, but usually I'd spray them down. The best thing is, old buddy Tom Huber has an old rotisserie from an old grill. So those old rotisserie motors had a square shaft, and he's made a hub to mount the rim, and the rim will actually rotate at slow speed with that rotisserie, and then you can just keep painting. So here what I'm going to do, I'm going to paint the inside radiuses. I don't need to get coverage on this, but I don't need to get it too dry at the same time. See what I'm doing, I'm making my arc and staying at the same distance. Okay, I'm getting paint and primer on these inside radiuses, but nothing on the back side. So I'll have to turn the rim around and go and do that. By the way, it's cold here in North Dakota today. So we took these rims and stuck them in front of the heater and warmed them up. If they were real cold, we'd have a lot more chance of running the paint because the solvents wouldn't evaporate. And it's kind of like hot spraying enamel. So, you know, I'm getting pretty good coverage on here. And yes, you have to learn to be ambidextrous too. And since this primer is a sandable primer, if we do get it a little dry, it's no big deal. We can sand it and come back and smoothen it out before we're ready for paint. We're going to use some restoration spray can paint, which is non-catalyzed, so it won't be as durable as something like a urethane, but it'll still work good. And we'll just wait for a hot day, spray the rims, roll them out, stick them in the sun, and let old Saul up in the sky do the bake job for us. Now I'm going to turn this rim around. Now I'm on the bottom side of where I painted on top there. This is much easier to control, this type of material, than it is with the other wash primers. The vinyl wash primer is just like spraying water. If I was putting it on like this, it'd be running down the beach of band. So this is a much nicer product to work with for this type of operation. And I'm still getting the etch. Plus I'm getting the advantage I can stand out. Nice thing about these rally wheels here, they have a beauty ring and a center cap. So the beauty ring and the center cap cover up most of the rim. So I'm not going to be too worried about how my paint is, as long as I get enough film build so that I get some protection from UV. If you put on too thin a film, too thin a primer, or too thin of a paint, it'll deteriorate from the sun's rays. I just keep working it around. Now I can open the fluid up and put more material on. This is good enough for this one. It's wetting out pretty good, and I haven't gotten any runs. That's the main thing. Rims are really hard to paint because you keep wanting to get coverage, and it's easy to get a run in them. And this is a nice little gun for doing that.